Hi, my name's Mary Jo Montgomery, and I am a teacher here at Fox Chapel Area School District, the high school, and I teach ceramics and fibers.
When and why did you decide to become a teacher?
I started in college in graphic design and drawing. During that time, I had an internship at the Buell Science Center, and I had a chance to take programs out on the road. I was doing these programs, and it was so much fun. I was like, I got to go back to school and get my certification for elementary. So it was those on-the-show roads that really pushed, really said, hey, I want to be a teacher.
When you were a student, who was your favorite teacher? What made them special?
Mr. Palusis was our art teacher, and he was very chill. Could do a lot of things with him. And then I had Miss Hensel. She was a female science teacher at my high school, and she was just very cool, made science really relatable.
Share your teaching experience. What grades and subjects did you teach, where, and how long?
Okay. I started teaching at Fox Chapel at Dorseyville Middle School, and I was actually sixth grade everything teacher, and I taught language arts, science, social studies, math. And it wasn't until 7 years later that I moved into the art position at Dorseyville. And I was there for 25 years, and I came up here to the high school 6 years ago.
Tell me about your favorite lesson, unit, or activity that you enjoyed teaching every year.
I really like fibers. I like to knit, crochet, do embroidery, and I love throwing on the pottery wheel. So coming up here to the high school to do ceramics and fibers was amazing. I just think knitting is really relaxing, and when you can teach other people how to do it, it's something you can do in the future.
What is the funniest or most entertaining moment you can remember from your years in the classroom?
Well, since I was at DMS for 25 years, I had a lot of experience of seeing, Mr. Ashbaugh, get really funny on field days, and just there were school dances and the fundraising events and their field day. I remember we had a big squirt gun battle outside, and all the teachers were absolutely just soaked, but it was so much fun.
During your time as a teacher, what's the biggest change you witnessed in your profession?
Biggest change? I think the biggest change is that there isn't any change. It's you come and they say, here's a brand new thing. Here's a new way of teaching. And you learn all that stuff, and then it kind of goes away. And then 10 years later, they go, hey, here's this great new idea. Why don't you try this idea? So whatever, it sort of goes around again and again.
How have advances in technology such as the internet and smartphones impacted teaching during your career?
Technology, once upon a time, was ooh, the calculator. Ooh, nobody's going to learn math because we have a calculator. And it didn't happen. And then we got computers and was, ooh, nobody's going to know how to handwrite. They're all going to have to type it. Ooh, no, it didn't happen. Same thing with phones. No one's going to know how to do this and that. And things just change. Now it's AI. And people are going, oh, everybody's going to cheat or grab this or grab that. They're going to find other ways. Things are changing. It doesn't mean it's good or it's bad. It just means that there are new ways of looking at things and new ways of doing things.
Share with me one of your classroom management strategies or tips. How did you handle challenging or disruptive students, and in what way did that turn their behavior around?
I think the power of the Post-it note is amazing. If you can give someone a little Post-it note with a note on it, and it's private, and it's just between, hey, good job today, or hey, maybe we can, cool it down, and you just kind of keep it in the room. Sometimes you do have to talk to guidance counselors or parents and things like that, but high schoolers, they can handle it. They know how to get back in line.
Can you discuss your teaching philosophy and how that guided your approach to education?
I think everybody can learn. Everybody can grow. Sometimes you need a lot of scaffolding, you need a lot of help. Sometimes you don't. You need a little more flexibility. So I just feel like a teacher's job is really, you're always on, like taking a temperature of the room and trying to figure out, okay, this person needs this or they don't need that. I think that as a teacher, you just got to kind of see what the student needs and try your best to get them there.
What are the most important qualities of a great educator?
Patience, patience, and patience. That is the biggest thing. There are many times when you want to just snap. Yelling is not the mode. You just have to like pull back, reevaluate, and sometimes taking that extra time to reevaluate a situation, that's what's needed to improve your lesson, to improve your classroom management, help out the students, but patience.
What's the most challenging part of being a teacher?
I think the most challenging part of being a teacher is knowing that you are here in school in place of the students' parents. So when you look at a situation, whether there's behavior or whether a student doesn't look right or if you suspect something or they're doing really well or not, you are there, you are the thermometer, you are the person who is witnessing all these things right on, and you have to treat these students as your own kids. And any parent knows you love your kids, well, you gotta love your students.
What was the most rewarding part of being a teacher?
I don't know, getting to know the students, especially here at the high school. It's different than 7th grade, middle school. Students here, you get to see them longer, like 4 years in a row. You build up relationships, you get to know them, their families. The relationships, I think, are the things that keep you going. They're the most rewarding part.
If you could give one piece of advice to parents and the general public about the importance of teachers in education, what would it be?
Be kind to your teachers. There's a lot of things going on in a classroom, in a school, you're not just dealing with, 1 or 2 of your own children. You have a class of 15, you have a class of 30, and I think sometimes there needs to be more communication. And I believe if people would just take a minute to step back, look at the situation, and have good, productive conversations, that would be a good thing to do.
What advice would you give to a first-year teacher?
Find a mentor teacher. Get to know your custodians. Find a mentor teacher and hang with them and see how they do things. Definitely make friends with the custodians. They have the keys to everything, and they know where everything is. And just a lot of advice given to teachers like back in the day was, you got to be tough. You got to be, you got to be strong. That's not always the way to go about things. Find a seasoned somebody's been teaching for 10, 20 years, and hang with them for a while and see how they teach.
What would you like to say to your former students who are watching?
Be kind. We don't always remember your first names, and sometimes we have to ask. Even if you were like our bestest friend in high school, when you're in a different environment, especially when you see someone outside and everybody changes so much, that's my worst feeling. It's like I love seeing students, and then I go, hello, Mikayla, Clara, who, and you sometimes forget their first names. So students, when you meet your teachers, go up and say, hey, Mrs. Montgomery, it's Mikayla. How are things going? That would be awesome.